And we're live.
Oh, he looks so cute. You see him? Little bow tie.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And welcome to Nerd Nation, where we scour the internet for the latest gaming, tech, entertainment, and science news so you don't have to, while also offering occasional reviews. I'm Hanyu, and joining me this week is Ashley.
Yep, the one and only, literally and figuratively.
AP's out doing something, and we kind of lost track of Beardy again.
Yeah, unfortunately, but
we need to put a tracking chip in him or something. Seriously.
something. Shit.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
Ash.
tell him we're gonna find someone else with an even better beard. It'll show up.
Ash, do your intro.
But anyway, I'm Ashley Archaic. I have a gaming channel, youtube.com/Ashley Archaic. Do lots of Let's Plays, little walkthroughs. What am I doing currently? I'm currently playing Child of Light, which is a lot of fun. I love the game. It's great art design. Yeah. What about you, Honey?
I'm still in a transition period.
Of course.
I've been doing mostly Nerd Nation work.
Yeah, it's been a lot of work. We're like, not only our individual channels are like trying to like transition and do different things, but like having Nerd Nation too is like, oh my God, it blows your workload out of the water.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And keep an eye out on the Twitter and on the Facebook page off the record for a new link, which will combine a couple of the other things. We are getting our own sort of website. So
Yay. I mean, it's a website.
it is a website, but it's mainly a forum.
It'll be good.
But yeah, that's going to be interesting. Haven't ran a forum in a while.
Well, it's gonna come running back real quick.
I popped that thing together already. It's already pretty much done. I just need to get all the hosts registered, all you guys registered,
Oh wow,
make you
that's
guys
fast.
admins. I did it in like 2 hours.
So jet.
Less than 2 hours, maybe an hour actually.
Oh wow.
I have a lot of experience using the website that I used to generate it.
Lots of experience.
All right. sort of little depressing news to start off. This episode is going to be dedicated to the victims of the Chile volcano and the magnitude 7.8 earthquake that hit Nepal earlier this week.
Yes.
Thoughts go out to you. There's been a lot of confirmed deaths and still a lot of people missing, so hopefully things will end up working out.
Yes.
Terrible destruction, but that volcano looked awesome on the more interesting side of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's always really interesting when something, I mean, doesn't happen very often, but there's
The
so
pure
obviously.
raw energy of the volcano erupting was causing lightning and stuff in the sky as it was erupting.
That's insane.
It's a pure release of energy from the earth.
Yeah.
It was just incredible to watch, but it's destructive, and there were some negative sides as well,
Yeah.
as well as the Nepalese earthquake, which I believe the death toll is over 4,000 right now.
Yeah. Over 4,000.
All right, moving away from the bad news and into some more bad news.
Ah!
Gaming news. Uh, so we've been covering the Konami split from Kojima thing, and one of the victims of the split is Silent Hills,
Yeah.
and it has officially been confirmed as canceled, and
Unfortunately.
it sucks, honestly, because I was really looking forward to that truly reviving Silent Hills as a franchise that has honestly been going a bit downhill since Silent Hill 3.
Yeah, and it looked like it would be really good,
Yeah.
potentially.
Though the last Silent Hill game kind of gave it a bit of a boost, it wasn't enough to push Silent Hills back into the mainstream. Silent Hill
Yeah.
franchise into the mainstream. But this one, however, was starting to look absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I mean just
The PT, the playable trailer.
yeah, like that was insane and that was super popular.
Yeah, it was, and it was also insanely creepy.
It was. Um,
It gave me the chills, and the first time something actually happened, I jumped. I'm like, oh fucking hell.
yeah, so did I. It was definitely very weird and out there and just kind of like that's Silent Hill and it was
It was Silent Hill.
yeah.
It was a true return to form for the franchise, and it's dead now. Though that isn't keeping people from creating a petition to beg Kojima to continue developing it, despite leaving Konami.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to check that petition real quick and see how many signatures it has right now.
Oh, I'm sure loads.
Oh, I'm sure it loads too, but
I mean, where's that at? Sign me up.
oh, and Konami's also removed the playable trailer from the PlayStation Store as well.
Yeah. So, terrible loss. But who knows? Maybe it will come back.
It currently has 44,483 out of the required 50,000.
Oh wow.
So it's almost there.
Yeah. We'll see.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, here's to hoping.
Because I'd love to see it. Seriously.
Yeah, definitely. That was one of the games that I was really excited for. Um,
Yeah.
so
Next up is the other big news that came out this week. Black Ops 3 gameplay trailer.
On a lighter note, more exciting note, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm excited for it. Man, this
I'm
this
so
looked
stoked.
incredible. The
Hmm.
the the graphics, the gameplay, the possibilities for multiplayer.
Yeah, like that. Well, everything made me super excited about it, but definitely the multiplayer and the different things that you can do and the changes that they made. Totally on board.
I am definitely looking forward to it. It is one of those things where it's like, ooh, I want it now.
Right? Ugh,
Ugh.
I pre-ordered mine already.
Yeah, I need to pre-order mine too. I want that beta. I want to check out that multiplayer beta.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
we know
Call of
when
Duty.
that beta is going to hit?
No. Well, I haven't heard or seen anything, and I've been trying ever since I pre-ordered it to access it on the Call of Duty website, but I don't know if it's just so much traffic and it's not working. But I've tried it multiple days, different times of the day, and it just doesn't want to work.
One of the most interesting things about this Call of Duty, though, is that it was. It's been revealed that that is coming out November 6th.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
That's a Friday.
Yeah, that's the first time. Call of Duty is usually released on a Tuesday.
Most games are released on Tuesdays.
Yeah, most
So
games
to
are.
see it move away from Tuesday to a Friday is very interesting. And it
Yeah,
makes me curious as to why. Maybe cut down on people calling in sick or something.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
But that's certainly interesting. And, oh, right. At the very end of the trailer, we saw something that excited, well, a lot of people, and I'm sure it certainly excited you, the hint of zombies.
Yes, give it to me.
I
Oh my
mean,
God.
exo zombies are fun, but it's not Treyarch zombies.
Yeah, without a doubt. It kind of like held us over for a little bit, but I
Yeah, it's
mean,
kind of like a
it's
holdover. But
not the same. I'm so excited.
it's very interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. I hear that they're going to be doing, uh, pulling away from what they did with Black Ops 1 and 2,
Hmm.
where they had established characters.
Yeah.
For the zombies and do a new set of established characters again
Yeah,
like
we're
they did
getting a
with
whole
Black
new
Ops 2.
storyline. Hmm.
Because in Black Ops 1 you had the Russian, the German, the Japanese
Yeah.
guy, and the American.
Hmm.
Then you had the group from Black Ops 2, which included the nerd, the girl, the yeah, the
Yeah.
coach, and the I don't know who you would say that last person is. The guy who wears the leisure suit.
Yeah.
Um,
People, they get it.
but I'm curious as to seeing the new characters that they bring in for the zombies as well.
Yeah, I'm so
But
excited. And
still,
the zombies, one of the big things, I don't know if it's for everybody, but at least for me and some people I know, is like the designing of the zombies because World at War, the original ones, were so creepy and just like,
yeah,
I don't, and then they kind of strayed away from that, which I wasn't a fan of, but now it looks like they're kind of going back to that, so that's cool.
yeah, very interesting, and again, looking forward to it. It's
Yes.
going to be very interesting, and hopefully, well, I say hopefully, but it's Treyarch who invented the whole zombie formula, so I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah. There goes my life. If you guys don't see videos from me, like in November, that's why. But back to just Black Ops in general. I've been seeing everywhere, like Twitter, people are like on Instagram, oh, I'm not gonna get it if it has exosuits. Well, no, it does not have exosuits.
No, but instead everyone's cybernetically enhanced and it's all cyborgish and stuff like that. One of the coolest things I saw in the trailer, I think, was the part where the guy's arm turns into a minigun.
Yeah, definitely really
That
cool.
that, that kind of actually reminded me of Deus Ex Human Revolution, where one of the bosses could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, what, like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a game changer. Like, what makes me wonder, like, is he gonna like run out of ammo or something, or is it just like nonstop because it's on you? But
I think it has a clip, but I think that's also like an equipable weapon, though. I mean, it's
mm,
not something you automatically have. It's something like it's an augment for your character that replaces your main weapon or something, I'm sure.
yeah, but very, very cool.
All right, moving on. Wolfenstein. Everybody remembers the new Wolfenstein that came out, the New Order, and how it kind of pulled away from the pack and did things the way shooters used to be instead of going all Call of Duty like people were kind of afraid that they would.
hmm
Well, it turns out the old blood is going to continue that tradition and shun modern shooter trends the same way its predecessor did.
Yep.
And I'm all for that. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Call of Duty, but that formula doesn't fit for every game, no matter how many companies try to shoehorn that formula into their game.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great game, but that's that game. So let's make every other game try not to be like a copy and paste. Like be unique and be different. Bring
Hmm.
something else in addition to the table.
And I enjoy the fact that it returned to the way Wolfenstein used to be. Wolfenstein and Doom used to be the over the top shooter where you could carry like two RPGs or like two miniguns and just run around murdering people.
Yeah, that's always fun.
It's definitely keeps things interesting instead of them being the same, as we had
To
just mentioned.
say the least. Yeah. So good on them. Good job, guys.
All right, up next is the EA press conferences. We already know that Bethesda and Square Enix have announced that they will be holding a press conference at E3 this year. But there's also a third new press conference that will be taking place at E3, and that is the PC Gaming Show. Now, for those of you who have watched and do watch the press conferences or have gone to the press conferences, you would know that Microsoft hasn't really touched on their PC gaming for at least 4 years at their
Yeah,
press conference. So it's rather interesting to see a dedicated PC gaming press conference at this year's E3.
that's cool though. I think that's really refreshing, and you still got to remember, like, I feel like at E3 they kind of take the back burner, but
Mm.
so that's cool.
We do have the conference times for some of the shows for this week, but not all of them. Microsoft, Ubisoft, Sony, and Nintendo are all still to be announced, but Bethesda's show will be the first show of the week, and kind of breaking E3 tradition, and we'll be having it the Sunday before E3 on June 14th at 7 p.m. Pacific time. They're actually, I think, the first people to do that, if I remember correctly.
I mean, I don't know for a fact, but I mean that does sound about right.
Because most press conferences start on the Monday of the week of
Yeah,
E3, and it's usually EA, and Sony, I believe. It's either EA or Ubisoft that's usually on the Monday before the show starts on Tuesday, but it actually seems like EA is going to be taking their show at on Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Which, since EA and Ubisoft are usually between Microsoft and Sony, that means Microsoft will be before 1 o'clock. Probably, if I had to guess, at around 11. 11 or 12. I'd say 11 just because they're usually a 2 hour show.
Yep.
2 hour press conference. EA and Ubisoft are usually an hour long, so with their show being at 1, I'd say Ubisoft, who is still to be announced, if they do have their show on Monday, would probably be at 2 or 2:30. And then Sony would be following after that, which would probably be around 4 o'clock, 4 or 5.
Just making the schedule for them. Just hire you.
Well, I'm just going back, going off past conferences, though.
Yeah, I know. Jokes.
Square Enix do have their show scheduled for Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and the PC gaming show is scheduled for Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes, sir.
And that's all we know so far on the scheduling.
More to come.
Yes. And doesn't seem like the game list has been updated too much since last week, so I'm just going to skip over that.
Yeah, we have been covering that.
And the show hours for those of you who are going to be in LA for the week of Tuesday, the show opens at noon and closes at 6. Wednesday, the show opens at 10 in the morning and closes at 6. And then Thursday, the last day of the show, June 18th, opens at 10 and closes at 5 at night.
Yep.
Alright, and moving on to Nightmare video game turns your house into a horror movie. We have to get
So
AP to
much
play
yes.
this.
Yes, so much yes. Wait, he hasn't even seen this, huh?
No.
Since he didn't even come, he's doing whatever he's doing. But yeah, so this was actually really cool. It's on your phone, and it uses the phone's camera, and it places like ghosts, and it manipulates your environment through the camera, which is really cool. I mean, as long
It's
as they
very
do
creepy too.
yeah, well, as long as they do it and it doesn't look cheesy, then like for sure. It looked like it was legit.
Yeah, it looked really good, and it looked like it would scare the pants off me. Which
Oh,
means it would
I
probably
want
make
this.
AP cry.
I would probably cry. I can't. I want this so badly.
I
We're gonna
believe
just
it is a
go.
Kickstarter, right?
Yes, I believe so. We're just gonna go like surprise AP, and hold him down.
It's called Night Terrors Augmented Reality Survival Horror. And it's actually not a Kickstarter, it's on Indiegogo. Close enough.
Oh, same difference.
Yeah. They're both crowdfunding websites, so.
Yeah, you should definitely check that out. We can throw that in the chat. But yeah, it's definitely really cool. Huge fan of horror games, and there's not enough games that are like actually creepy and scary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It has currently raised $16,026, and it is 23% funded with 38 days left. It has a goal of $70,000.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It looks really creepy.
Very.
And they got 20% funded in 2 days. So I think they're going to hit that goal.
Yeah, I hope so. I think that there just needs to be more like spread the word about it.
Yeah.
Because I want this to happen.
It is very, very creepy and slightly disturbing looking, though, from the screenshots and the video that they provide.
Very much so.
Alright, moving on to tech news.
Tech news.
Digital tattoos could let you control devices with your mind.
Okay, so when I first saw this, and I immediately thought tattoos like, permanent tattoos. So I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's not the case actually. So I guess that's a bit more mind settling.
It's
And
a
yeah,
temporary tattoo that goes on behind your ear.
yeah. So I mean, I can be on board with that. That'd be cool. I've always wanted mind control.
And it's consisting of a small system of gold electrodes that hide discreetly behind the wearer's ear. The digital tattoo is attached to test subjects who then use the power of their minds to spell out the word computer on a screen in front of them. Presumably in some sort of test to label things as literally as possible.
Yeah. So I mean, we're just getting lazier and lazier.
While texting your significant other sweet nothings or updating your blog solely with mind bullets is an exciting futuristic application, more practical uses such as detecting seizure activity, particularly in premature babies, are more closer to reality research, says John Rogers to New Scientist.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay, definitely then.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Just think in the futures, kids debating the merits of controllers versus mouse and keyboard could join forces to heap scorn on a third, more cerebral way of controlling video games. That's funny. Keyboard's better. No, controller's better. No, mental power's better.
Yeah.
I don't even need a controller. I can just think and the guy does what I tell him to do.
Dude.
Could you imagine the reaction times using one of those?
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully. Maybe
Because it would be essentially a direct link between your mind and the gaming device. So imagine the reaction times for your gaming. It would probably be up significantly because you wouldn't have to rely on brain telling your thumbs to do and then your thumbs doing it and then it translating from your thumbs to the keyboard or mouse
yeah.
to the screen. It would just go brain, screen.
I think we could all be a lot more efficient. A lot less carpal tunnel.
A lot more lazy though. Wall-E.
Wow. That's basically gonna be us. Super soldiers and long.
Yeah, pretty much. Screw wearables. Now Wi-Fi will monitor your body.
Hmm. I guess like on paper this sounds really cool, but my like biggest question is what exactly are you monitoring and who has this information?
It's health monitoring.
That's what they want you to think.
Basically, it would detect your breathing, see if you're breathing regularly or irregularly, and I think that's pretty much as far as they've gotten so far. It would basically sense the reflections of the signals off your chest, so it would probably check your heartbeat too.
I would think so. Heart rate.
It would check your heart rate and maybe if it detects an oncoming heart attack or something like that, it would even like notify an ambulance or something.
Oh yeah.
So, say your heart rate speeds up, all the precursors for a heart attack. It senses that you're about to have a heart attack and calls the ambulance before you even actually have the heart attack. Then the ambulance gets there right as you get your heart attack. That'd be pretty
Well, if you
cool.
live in LA.
But that would be pretty
But
cool though.
yeah, no, definitely. Um,
Or
well, it
like
also,
sense the precursors of a seizure, or sense that you are having a seizure.
I don't think you can sense a pre. Well, it's more like I think that's like brain activity. Yeah, versus like heart
Hmm.
rate and stuff. But
But when you
definitely
actually
while
have the seizure,
yeah,
though.
definitely while you're having one for
Yeah.
sure. Um, but I think it's kind of almost funny how this is seems like a really good idea and would be really helpful for health issues like that. The
Hmm.
biggest problem that they're having is to separate the person and a person's reflection. So because it monitors like waves and stuff,
Yeah, it can't detect individual people.
yeah.
But if it knows that there's somebody having a health issue in that area, though, it would still be able to send somebody to that spot, though. Right?
Yeah. Well, I'm curious also, like, how does it differentiate? Obviously, there's some conditions that you have that's automatic sign of like a heart attack or something, but like it's just like elevated heart rate and erratic movement. Does that automatically mean I'm seizing? Like, how does it know the difference? Its accuracy, I guess.
It's still in very, very early stages of testing, too, so.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
that would be something I think that would be difficult to pinpoint.
This next one's pretty interesting. It's all the stuff you can send to your Android phone from the search bar. So, a couple weeks ago, we mentioned that you could find your phone online by typing Find My Phone into Google if you have an Android phone.
Uh-huh.
And it would and you could hit the ring button, which would then set your phone to its loudest audio setting and page your phone, basically. So,
Hmm.
even if you had it on silent or vibrate, you would still be able to find your phone. But now, as it turns out, there's other things that you can do on Google to your phone, including send it directions, making a note to yourself on Google, sending it to your phone, setting an alarm for yourself, or even setting a reminder.
That is cool.
That is very interesting.
It's very interesting.
Now, this next thing is really cool because it kind of interestingly enough would be useful with the disasters that happened this week. So for it to be put in the news and the time it did kind of coincides with useful information. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. So what we're talking about is a tiny robot can pull waves 2,000 times heavier than it. So with all the debris and the rubble, I'm getting distracted, fucking Nike. Um, yeah, so we'd be able to pull all the rubble and stuff trying to find survivors. There's a lot of people who have very limited time after something like that happens, and you gotta
Like say
dig
limited
them out.
oxygen supplies or they're being crushed.
Exactly. There's a
So
number
being
of
able to
factors.
send out like a tiny army of these little guys into a disaster area would be extraordinarily handy.
Yeah, definitely. So where are they at in this process? Is this something that's being developed?
It's being developed, and it shows the little guy pulling a 45-pound weight, despite the fact it's the size of about of a quarter, and it's very
That's like
impressive.
very cool.
It's about the size, yeah, it's about this big, and
I
it's a 9 gram robot
yeah, so very tiny.
that can pull over 2 pounds as it climbs walls, and a tiny milligram and 20 milligram bot put together under a microscope that can carry 500 milligrams.
Cool, cool. Yes,
And
that
there's another one that can haul up to 52 pounds despite weighing less than half an ounce.
that's insane.
So you'd have various sizes of robots going about. You'd just release them into a disaster area. to find survivors and basically create ways for them to get air or even get out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that is literally life-saving.
Yes, and I am very interested to see how these little bots develop because this is certainly something that we need, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
And that would be a fantastic invention for disaster relief and search and rescue workers.
Yeah.
Next up is something a little scary.
A little. I would say very. This is very unsettling.
DARPA has created a self-guided bullet that will swerve to hit moving targets.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
guys have to check this out because it's unreal.
very unreal and very like, why was this necessary? Don't we already have skilled snipers in the first place? But
Yeah, and even the image you're showing, totally first time user, not skilled at all. Perfect. Hits a perfect target. And it just
hits
locks on.
and that's just. Do we really need to make it easier for non-skilled people to kill people?
I mean, no, but
I mean, granted, the bullet looks like it costs a fortune because it probably has the type of propellant in it to be able to adjust like that. So I
yeah,
mean,
wasn't I thought they had a price on it. I want to say like 4,000, but maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
Dwifey? What's up, Dwifey? Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong.
I thought you said wifey, and I was like, excuse me?
Dwifey.
I was like,
DW01FY.
I see that now. That was funny.
But yeah, self-guiding bullets. That's one of those things where it's
I
like
don't know how I feel
I'm
about
not.
that.
No, I know how I feel about that. I'm not fine with that.
I mean, it's not like we don't already have like these crazy weapons and stuff that like do serious damage, but let's just like add on to it, I guess. He's like, I'm
Wolfie
not
will
looking
be
to get
fine.
married just yet.
All right, Wolfie.
Are
Uh,
you sure? Honey's quite the catch. I'll tell you what to do all the time.
uh, I'm not that bad.
Mm. We love you though.
Uh, all right, the next one is a little less scary. So the people who just created steerable, self-guiding bullets also are trying to help improve our memories.
That's useful. I know a bunch of people who could definitely use that.
I know a fair amount of people as well. It's restoring active memory replay will be looking into not only which brain components matter in memory formation and recall, but also how much they matter. Gray matter. Bad joke. Memories are a result of biological processes which form neural connections in the brain. The DARPA program manager says that in the long run, we hope RAM replay will identify core memory strengthening mechanisms. The
Yeah,
program could benefit citizens and service members alike in areas as diverse as general education, job retaining, and battlefield awareness.
of course. Has to go back to,
Well, it is DARPA,
yeah.
but also it would most probably also help people who have PTSD as well.
True. Yeah, true. Yeah, but I don't think this is the first time that they've announced something like this. Like for sure, one day in the future, we're gonna have like some kind of memory, something where we retain all of our memories, or we can just recall it like a computer or something like that. Which I don't know. I think that's cool because I mean, maybe it's just me, but I would love to know like everything, just like a sponge, like soak up
Yeah,
everything and be able to call like just knowledge or, memories.
my brain is a sponge sometimes. I just have so much crap in there. It's insane. It's insane. I'm like a Jeopardy person sometimes, and other times I can't think of anything.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
All right, moving on to entertainment news. Super Troopers
Fear
2
news
has
and fear
scored
for.
$4.4 million in budget from crowdsourcing.
Good job, guys. That's like really impressive.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, well, I mean, it's not that unheard of considering it is a known developer. No, when it comes to known developers, they almost always get funded. Like, and when it comes to video games that do crowdsourcing and stuff like that, if it's a known developer, they get funded like real quick.
Yeah, well, for sure, we all knew that it would get funded and it would
Mm,
definitely surpass the funding. But good for them. Like, we obviously want the movie, so I'm
yeah,
really glad that it's actually being made.
the time is meow.
Right now. Love that. Wolfie says, and here was me thinking you were talking about some new bullet in Call of Duty, going back to the bullet story. No, this is, well, I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
yeah, that's kind of the new Black Ops 3 storyline, but yes, this is real life.
yeah. There is DARPA has created a self-adjusting a bullet that is self-guided and will adjust itself in flight to hit a moving target.
Yeah,
That is not science fiction. That is something that is real right now.
yes, future is now. That's one of the reasons I'm so excited about this storyline because it's totally like, exactly where we're at.
It's what's going on right now.
Yeah, it's real. Anyway, Mr. Fantastic's powers have been changed for the Fantastic Four movie.
That's interesting. That's one of it's not one of those I don't know how I feel about that, but it's an interesting new take on how his powers actually work
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he doesn't actually stretch. And he like creates like hold on. I need the article's description because it. Let's see.
He can warp the
Yeah,
space around him.
yeah. He warps space around him and appears to stretch his body to impossible forms and incredible lengths. In other words, his body isn't shifting; the space around him is, which gives him the appearance of stretching his limbs and being made of elastic, like his character originally was. Though that actually makes me think, what if we've had it wrong the whole time, and that's actually what his ability is, and we actually thought that he was made out of rubber.
Well, it very well could be. It's all about perception. So,
Because, well, actually, I'm not that well accustomed to the Fantastic Four, so I can't say this for certainty, but were his powers ever specifically explained as you stretch like rubber?
I don't know. um,
Or were they never, was that just a guess or an estimate based off what other people saw?
Again, I don't really know either,
Yeah,
but my thinking is exactly that we saw what he can do, and it appears to be that he stretches like rubber. So I don't know. Who knows?
maybe he never really looked much further into it than, oh crap, my arm can go really far away.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Though then again, he is a scientist, so you'd think he would check into something like that too. But well, who knows?
who knows?
Maybe Beardy would know something more about that. I'll ask him about that.
If he was here.
Yeah.
God.
All right. Next up, Avengers: Infinity War movies are going to be shooting back to back for 9 months.
Pretty cry.
A straight 9 month shoot for Avengers: Infinity War.
Yeah.
That's gonna
I
be a
can't
little
imagine all
tiresome.
the hard. Yeah, that's so tiresome. Because, man, I don't even know. I'd be exhausted.
I think they shot all the Lord of the Rings movies back to back almost, didn't they?
I have no fucking clue. I think you know how I feel about them.
Well,
I
still, you
mean,
probably would have heard something about them at the time
well,
that they were being
but at the same time, I
developed.
think it's a
But
little bit different, like Lord of the Rings and then fucking Avengers. I don't know. I feel like Avengers might be a little bit more tiring. But
true, a lot more fighting in Avengers.
they're just kind of like, oh, we have a thing. Oh. Let's keep walking. Hey, Labate. I don't know. I'm probably saying that wrong.
Labat,
Lab, Labat.
Labat.
Whatever your name is, thanks for joining. Oh, yeah, he says
Yeah,
Lord of
shot
the
over
Rings
two
was shot.
years.
All right, well, probably right then if you guys both, I mean, sure you heard it somewhere. Cool.
Moving on to the next one. X-Men Apocalypse is rumored to mark the end of the X-Men movie series.
I mean, this makes sense if you think about it.
Though at the same time, I think they're going to be continuing on with the alternate universe that they created with Days of Future Past, right?
Um, I would assume so, yeah.
So it's the end of the main series, which started with X-Men 1 way back when in
Yeah.
the early mid 2000s.
Isn't it crazy? When I was reading this and it did say when they first started it, I was like, really? It's been that long? Like, I feel like it's like just a current series, I guess, of movies. So then I
It's been
think about
stretching
it.
for a while. Same
Yeah.
as Marvel. I mean, when did Iron Man 1 come out? Like
Oh man.
late 2000s? Mid
Yeah.
to late 2000s?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy to think about. Like, where does the time go when we're getting old?
Uh,
No. I'm just gonna be like this like old person still
I felt
watching
old
like comic
when I
things
saw
and
that Power
cartoons.
Rangers was having their 25th anniversary. That made me feel old.
Yeah, sad.
No, it was their 20th anniversary.
I don't want to get
But
old.
by the time we get old, there'll be Fountain of Youth pills, cybernetic bodies, and shit like that.
But then we're gonna have a whole nother set of problems with like, okay, you can live forever, but now our world's probably gone to shit for one reason or another because there's too many people on
By
the
that
planet.
point, we'd have off-world colonies and stuff like that, or at least people living in space stations and stuff. You know,
I don't want to live in space.
I want to live in space. What are you talking about?
I don't. Well, okay, like by then, if it's like colonized and
Well, what if it's not off like different world off world, but what if there's space stations, space cities, basically space station cities up there, like, floating around Earth, or
I
like.
think if they've perfected the technique and if I can get up there safely and the whole thing is fine, then cool.
Well, at that point, we'll probably be using space elevators to get up to these gigantic space station cities, though.
Can you imagine? I'm just gonna go up the elevator.
It's science fiction that everybody knows is science fact. It's just that we haven't found a material strong enough to link between the Earth and a geosynchronous station, though. So
Yeah, we just covered that. Well, not last week, I don't think. Maybe the week before.
They do believe that they could create a material using carbon nanotubes, but carbon nanotubes are extremely expensive and extremely difficult to produce. At
Yeah.
least, at least at the current time. And then once they are able to produce such a material and create a large, dense enough belt to connect between Earth and the low Earth orbit atmosphere.
Yeah, Wolfie says technically we are living in space and yet we still chase new horizons forgetting what is in front of us. I actually said something like that not that long ago. Oh, it was Earth Day. It was on Earth Day. How like yeah, we're totally on this like, life in space bandwagon. But like hello, we have this like amazing thing like exactly what we're searching for is right here at home and we're not taking care of or like I don't know, I feel like we're just like throwing it away.
We're getting better. Green tech is really starting to take off, and give it a fair amount of years. I say 11 years. It may seem a little of an arbitrary number,
I feel
but
like 11 is your magic number. You say 11 years for everything.
well, no,
Give
well,
it 11
in
years.
11 years there are going to be so many things that have changed.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
In 2026, so many things will have changed. Mostly, I predict for the good. Definitely, mostly for the better. Because the way green technology is starting to get picked up and starting to really gain momentum now, I can see us becoming fully green within 5 years. Doubt it'll happen, but I can see it happening.
I
If
know we have the potential, and I think it's just kind of how we choose to um, move forward with it or
but
not.
but yeah. So in 11 years, a lot of things will have changed. Technology will have exploded out even more than it has, and green energy will be a much bigger thing. Hopefully, it probably won't happen in 11 years, but I'm hoping we finally discover fusion energy. And hopefully cold fusion, which is the holy grail of energy. But
Definitely, though, exciting years to come. Like it's all gonna
we kind of
happen.
got off into science news while in entertainment news.
We'll jump back on this train later.
Uh,
Anyway,
uh, okay, this next thing is very spoilerific. So if you've been keeping
spoiler.
track of the Batman New 52 comics, and more specifically the Endgame comic, that comics that they've been rounding up to. This is a big spoiler, so I will wave my
Earmuffs if you don't
hands.
want to hear
I will
it.
wave my hands like this when it is okay for you to put your headphones back on if you are wearing headphones, or to unmute us if you have us if you mute us. This next one is, as I mentioned, spoilers from the Batman comic Endgame, where Batman and Joker go head to head.
It's actually really cool.
And yeah, it's really cool and a little disturbing, but also
Which
really cool.
makes it
And
really cool.
yeah, but like I said, it's also really cool. The shocking twist that has rocked the finale of Batman number 40 Endgame. The Endgame story arc within the pages of Batman, written by Scott Snyder and artist Greg Capullo, has become a bloody conclusion as both Batman and Joker perished in a fight to the death. That's right, Batman and his greatest nemesis, the Joker, are dead. I'll let you absorb that for a second.
Excuse me while I tear.
That's a big revelation for some people. Endgame saw Joker return to Gotham City with a brand new face, as he previously had to cut off his old one, a new suit, and a new Joker virus which he used to infect the city. To
Hmm.
make matters worse, it was revealed that Joker might be the immortal Pale Man, who has been haunting Gotham since it was founded lifetimes ago. This all culminated in Joker and Batman battling in a cave deep underneath Gotham. Batman having discovered a pool of Dionysium, a strange green liquid with healing properties, and realized that it was the substance that healed Joker's face and other severe injuries. Joker had the place rigged with explosives, and so he set them off at the start of the battle. Starting a cave-in, the two went back and forth, stabbing and maiming each other. Batman even using the pointy ears on his cowl to impale Joker until they both collapsed on the ground.
It's
Joker then
intense.
tried to plunge a knife into Batman's eye, but a rock from the crumbling cave fell and crushed Joker's back. Batman knew he would bleed to death in minutes, so he grabbed Joker to stop him from crawling to the healing pit, which caused Joker, with great fear, a rare emotion for him, to begin to plead with Batman. Yet Batman was completely at peace with both of them meeting their end.
It's heavy.
Joker then struggled and tried to get to the healing pit, which implies that he's not immortal after all and that he needs the Dionysium to survive his fatal injuries. Then a massive boulder fell on top of the pool, sealing it and removing any hope of either combatant being healed. So Joker tried to play a trick on Batman by making him think he was immortal, but Batman called him on it. Not so funny now, is it?
I like that.
Uh, Realizing he's going to die, Joker said that at least he broke all the pieces, referring to his virus currently infecting Gotham. But then Batman revealed that he gave them a cure he found so they'd all be fine. Of course, he's Batman.
Cause I'm Batman.
Then the scene ends with Batman and Joker lying in a pool of their blood, knowing that he saved the city and taken down the Joker. Batman's last words were him telling Julia Pennyworth over the radio, "I'm just going to rest here a while with my friend." And then the roof of the cave came down on them.
That's crazy. Like his last words, I feel like bring it full circle, and it just makes me like
It gives you goosebumps.
it does. It's really crazy. Well,
It's
He
it's one
said
of
that he
those.
wrote a poem that said or mentioned Batman being meta. That's pretty cool.
That is cool, but that's just one of those things, though, where it's like, I mean, Joker and Batman have always been two sides of the same coin. So in a way, they're very similar, and yet at the same time polar opposites. So for Batman to finally say, like, "I'm just going to rest here for a bit with my friend," that's kind of it's a little touching, but at the same time, it's sad, you know?
Well, it's like a psychology thing. You can't have one without the other. Like this
Yeah.
nemesis and the hero. I mean, yeah, they go hand in hand.
And I believe, testing my Batman lore here, that Joker was the first villain Batman created.
I believe so.
But but that was back before New 52, and apparently New 52, Joker was always Joker. I don't know. I never read any of the New 52 or anything like that. So finding out that Joker might have always been Joker is kind of like a gut punch, you know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, by the way, we're done with the spoilers.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Wave the arms.
But yeah, that's very interesting, and Honestly, I'm waiting for someone to do a storyline where we find out that Joker and Batman are both Bruce. Because, like I said, they're two sides of the same coin. So it
Yeah.
would be a very interesting storyline for us all to figure out that Joker is Bruce just as Batman is Bruce.
I mean, I can definitely see it, and it is something that I think would be very plausible and actually could make sense.
And there are real psychological disorders that are like that too. You know, I mean, where you think that there's another person there, but you're actually talking to yourself, and it was you who did all the things that that person did. I mean, actually, the first Black Ops was all about that. Remember?
Yeah.
Rezhnikov was never there. It was all Mason.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing. Like, it's a real disease and it happens, so could be.
So that would be very interesting to see some Batman comic writer to do that. Yeah,
Yeah, Wolfie says very Fight
very Fight
Club.
Club. Yeah,
I love that movie so much.
I'd love to see one of the Batman writers to do something like that because I think it would be really popular. Actually,
I'd be down for it.
that would be one hell of a twist, though, at the end, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Watch, I just spoiled decades of planning by DC. Like, god damn it, he figured it out.
We would never hear the end of it though if we really did. I told you so. Told you so.
I get a call from DC. How did you figure that out?
Ah,
And I'd just be like, hey, I just thought it would be pretty cool if
that's cool. But
that's what
let's
it
move on.
was.
I just think it'd be cool. I'm so glad you guys agree.
All right, moving on to casting news. Wolverine 3 is getting the screenwriter from the Green Lantern and Blade Runner 2 movies.
Hmm.
Daniel Bruhl confirms he's playing Baron Zemo in Captain America Civil War, and I'm probably not saying Zemo right. Finding Zemo.
Oh my God.
Uh, It Follows star Micah Monroe signs on to Independence Day sequel.
Cool.
And here's something interesting. Ben Affleck has been reportedly seen on the Suicide Squad set, just as Jared Leto has been reportedly seen on the Batman vs. Superman set.
Yes.
So could the possible flashback scene from that we'll probably be seeing Leto in on Batman vs. Superman actually be a scene in Suicide Squad?
I don't know,
That would
but
be
it's
interesting.
cool.
That would be a very good tie-in if you ask me. Actually,
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
and original X Files writers will be returning for the X Files revival.
That's cool.
Yes, which means all the nonsensical stuff is coming back, folks.
Yes.
Moving on to your department.
Science news. I love how I like spent this whole time not even getting up these links. I think because I was doing the other ones because I was like, oh yeah, no one else is here. But so banishing fluorescent cells could save your site. And if you could throw that link in the chat so people can see, because there's like a picture that goes along with it. So there's blobs that they look like something from like an 80s party. They can help
Yeah.
track the age-related macular degeneration, which causes eyesight to deteriorate over time, just as you age. So the image shows the blood vessels in blue of the retina of a mouse, and the neon blondes are the nuclei of the cells that line their walls, and the yellow ones are in the process of dividing as cells aren't wont to do. That's totally wrong. Excuse me.
Where's the editor when you need him?
Editor. Dude, they're terrible. Anyway, but excess cells division here division here causes more blood vessels to form, which is what actually causes age-related molecular degeneration. When researchers genetically modified the mice to block a protein called SLT2, they found the cell division in the retina was much slower, stopped
Hmm.
the onset of blindness. Now the team is working to establish if a drug can be developed to block the same protein for humans.
That would be very
So
cool.
it would be cool.
Imagine not losing your eyesight as you grow old, or
I probably would need that.
imagine everybody
Yeah.
with perfect 20/20 vision.
It goes along in the same boat as like everyone's gonna be like way older and in perfect health, and we're all just
I
gonna
mean,
live.
it's kind of how it is now. I mean, like
Yes
hundred
and no,
a
but I mean,
hundred years ago, the average life expectancy of people was like their 30s, and now we have people living into their 80s, 90s, hundreds. You know,
yeah. So the same thing's gonna happen, and we're just gonna need to adjust to that massive leap, which is insane.
sooner or later, we'll have people living to like their 200s or
And then
longer.
how would ugly people get dates? Oh, alcohol.
Beer glasses.
Oh man, fucking. I don't even. It just makes you like bad decisions. Like bad decisions just seem okay. Like you still know it's bad. You're like, I probably shouldn't, but then you do anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't make you look attractive. It just makes it feel like it's less wrong. But anyway, um, MIT is developing an AI cancer diagnosis system. So this was pretty cool. I think this was in the news a few times this week. Diagnosing cancer is a depressingly common activity, but spotting subtle variations in tumor types can require sifting through hundreds of previous cases. At MIT, though, researchers are developing a system that uses artificial intelligence to speed up that process. A team from MIT's Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory has developed a software system that studies data from existing medical reports in order to suggest cancer diagnosis to doctors. There are, in fact, 50 subtypes of lymphoma, which can be hard to specifically diagnose. Up
Jeez.
to 15% are initially misdiagnosed, slowing treatment. The software developed at MIT taps into large banks of pathology reports, extracting medical data which can be tied together into relationships that the World Health Organization uses to define the subtypes of cancer. The system also ties words commonly used in the medical records to each of these data points, providing an extra layer of information. The system can then take a new set of test results and compare it to existing data on a number of levels. The result provides clinicians with both medical data and written descriptions of similar cases, helping suggest the types of lymphoma most likely to be present. There's still some way for the AI system to go, and it needs far more data and some comprehensive testing, but in the future it could help make the lives of doctors far easier, which I think is really cool and really helpful because the diagnosis process of cancer is the hardest.
Anything that helps you find and diagnose cancer faster, right?
Well, not only that is it helps it, I guess, diagnose it better, only because there's so many different types of treatments that
Uh, so,
obviously not
so
every
I
type
could
of treatment works for everybody.
find
And
the
they're just kind of
best
like,
type of find out which type of lymphoma and stuff it is, and
yeah,
give like a suggestion for treatment based off what that is.
yeah, because otherwise they're just basically throwing things at you and seeing what works and what sticks, which isn't the best method, but unfortunately
That's
the only method.
oncology right now, though.
Yeah. Um, because that's all we got.
Yeah,
But that can a lot of times do more harm than good, and that's why a lot of people actually opt out of treatment altogether because a lot of the things that they do to help treatment can do worse things for you.
they can make it worse. Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Now into this week's big story, and I'm excited for this one.
Oh, so has NASA really created a warp drive? What? Speaking of future being now, forgetting blowing bubbles, NASA may be on the path to discovering warp bubbles that will open up every corner of the universe for human exploration. Yeah, you heard it right. We
Yeah.
have broken the speed of sound, but now scientists may have broken the speed of light, according to posts on nasaspaceflight.com. However, before you keep reading, keep in mind, as stated above, the news has not yet been officially confirmed or peer reviewed.
But that was earlier this week. It's been confirmed now.
It has been confirmed. The piece of kit responsible for the sudden warp drive frenzy is called the electromagnetic drive, or EM drive for short. It's an innovative thruster that was built to steer rockets without the use of a propellant. The idea was originally met with skepticism. In order to move in one direction in the vacuum of space, to the object needs to be pushed in the opposite direction. Wait, did I just totally? No, okay.
You just
I
talk in
thought
circles.
I thought I skipped a line. I was like, hold on. Push in the opposite direction to give your rocket momentum. The object pushed in the opposite direction to the motion of the vessel is called the propeller. But the EM drive does away with that. It was originally intended for moon missions, Mars missions, and low Earth orbit (LEO) operations. Now, the hype over the EM drive is all about recording record timing interstellar travel. The unpublished experiment that led to this exciting possibility was performed in the vacuum of space. After shooting laser beams into the EM drive resonance chamber, where the light is resonated to increase its intensity, researchers found that some of the beams of light were moving faster than the speed of light constant, approximately 300, what is that, million meters per second, 186,000 miles per second. The big question that's intriguing scientists or dreamers alike is how? Einstein's theory of relativity forbids any object from moving faster than the speed of light. Fortunately, there's a theory that sidesteps this minor impossibility. If the laser beams are definitely moving faster than the speed of light, then it would indicate that they are creating some sort of warp field or bubble in the space of time
Mm-hmm.
foam, which in turn produces the thrust that could, in the future, power a spaceship. The bubble would contract space-time contract space-time in front of the ship, flow over the ship, then expand back to normality behind it. So
For those
this
of you
is
who don't
like,
know, the way a warp bubble works is basically the ship is almost essentially standing still while the
uh-huh,
warp bubble moves space around the ship.
yeah, it's a lot to sink in, but that's the gist of it. It's inaccurate to describe the spaceship as moving faster than the speed of light, but rather space-time is moving around the ship than the
Yeah.
speed of light. This is different to a wormhole where one part of the universe is connected to another and the ship travels through the hole. The ship itself is essentially stationary and the space time bubble hurls around it.
Yeah, like I just said.
Mhm. A commonly held belief is that during the Big Bang, space time expanded dizzyingly fast, certainly faster than the speed of light. So, if space time moved faster than the speed of light, then why couldn't scientists warp space time now? Warp drive technology, similar to one described in popular science fiction, could well be next on the agenda. Even the less glamorous forms of space travel are set to benefit from this technology. The EM drive will get satellites off the ground by reducing their launch masses. Space stations won't demand as many refueling missions, making space life cheaper with the added benefit of less damage to the structure of spacecrafts from docking maneuvers. There are still lots of tests that need to be performed to confirm whether the laser beams are breaking the speed of light barrier. In 2011, the Opera experiment mistakenly observed neutrino particles to be moving faster than the speed of light. They later realized that the culprits of these mind-blowing conclusions were a faulty fiber optic cable and a clock that ticked too quickly. Hopefully, the EM drive will prove to be perfectly functioning so that we can get on top of warp drive technology. So that is pretty exciting if it actually is true.
Moving on to the testing. New tests suggest NASA's impossible EM drive will work in space. Last year, NASA's Advanced Propulsion Research Wing made headlines by announcing the successful test of a physics-defying electromagnetic drive, or EM drive. Now, this futuristic engine, which could in theory propel objects to near relativistic speeds, has been shown to work in a space-like vacuum. And it says NASA EagleWorks made the announcement quite unassumingly via NASA spaceflight. There was also a major discussion going on about the engine and the physics that drives it in the site's form.
Ow! I just like poked me.
So not only could has it been proven that the EM drive can work in the vacuum of space. It seems it might be the key to unlocking warp drive. So imagine that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's talk about one giant leap for mankind.
That
We accidentally discovered warp field.
is cool. Very cool.
I'm certainly looking forward to see what they do with this.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
Now all we need is artificial gravity and we're set.
can you imagine being the guy that actually discovered this, or the group or the team that was just like, what?
Did
Like,
we just
what just
discover what we thought
happened?
we discovered?
Someone probably shipwrecks that day. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh man. Ah, that's cool. Um,
It also suggests EM drives could be used on multi-generational spaceships for interstellar travel. A journey to Alpha Centauri, which is just 44 to 3 light years away, suddenly wouldn't be so daunting. An EM drive working under a consistent 1 millig acceleration would propel a ship to about 9.4% the speed of light, resulting in total travel time of 92 years. So we could reach, using an EM drive, going not even 10% the speed of light, we could reach another galaxy in like 3 lifetimes.
yeah.
That's pretty impressive. But that's without the need for deceleration. So basically, if it needs to be repaired or something, or needs to slow down for some reason every now and then, it would take
That
longer.
is
But
true.
that's going to another galaxy. That means
Hmm.
we could transverse our galaxy in a much shorter time, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that would basically open up our galaxy for exploration, which would be incredible. We're heading back into the another golden age of exploration.
Yeah. That's true. It's like history is repeating itself, but on like an immense
In a
grand
much
scale.
grander scale, yeah.
Hmm.
I just hope it's a
Exciting.
scientist who meets the aliens and not a military person.
Oh, fuck.
Uh,
Whoops. How the next universal galactic war
we'll,
started?
we'll just get vaporized. They'll be like, yeah, one of your ships kind of attempted to shoot at us, so we vaporized it. Then we followed its trail back to here. So, hey, what's up?
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah, that's why I don't think military should be the first people to explore space.
Oh no. Mm.
Scientists and just people who understand that they need to be a bit of a diplomat when they're out there, you know?
Yeah.
Just in the off chance that we do run into an alien civilization.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
We don't need no military men running around up there playing Buck Rogers.
No. I mean, we know how that even works just here on Earth. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Moving on.
um, so the next one's not necessarily news. It's something that we've known about or heard of because it's not confirmed yet. Um, but it's interesting, and I wanted to talk about it. So the universe might be a giant hologram. Cue the existential crisis.
There's
So
been people who have said that the universe is a hologram, or we're just one giant computer simulation and stuff like that. And honestly, if it's true, hey, great. Nothing we can do about it. If it's not true, hey, also great. Again, nothing we can really do about it.
there's nothing you can do about it. Well, unfortunately, a lot of people are not that logical or rational. So, with like everything in life, people aren't just like, I can't do anything about it. So, oh well, like it could be a really big deal if people were to find this out. And it's like, hey,
Yeah.
we are a hologram and we're not, I guess, what we've always thought we are or been, whatever.
But if
Um,
we are a computer simulation or a hologram, we're still each sentient AI, though, which means we're still technically alive. So don't just suddenly think that because we are a hologram or a computer simulation that you're not alive or have free will, because that would just mean we're all artificial intelligence.
Well, whatever we still are.
We
That's
still
the
are.
bottom
We still
line. We
have
still
separate
are.
thoughts, separate feelings, separate everything. I mean, there's people who disagree and agree with other people. And honestly, if we were all meant to be the same in this computer program, we would be the same.
Yeah. So,
But we all have our own. If, like I said, we would be AI, so we all have our own artificial intelligence, which gives us sentience and the ability to choose and feel and act the way we want.
yeah. So I just like the idea. I like the concept, and I think it's just something really cool to talk about because it is mind blowing to think like it's totally different from what we think that we currently are, and it's not a far-fetched idea and could be
No, it's
possible.
not, and yeah, it could be, and it is very interesting.
Very. So if you guys want to read up more on that, kind of explains that a bit more if you're interested. But pretty cool. Um,
It's Bat
so
Dino.
this thing is so crazy. Like the image that they have on this site is I don't even know. I can't describe it. Literally bat dino.
It's kind of like a raptor mixed
Batwing
with a
di
pterodactyl.
I yeah, I guess, but at the same time no. Like it's just crazy
It's
looking.
a giant chicken. It's a chicken raptor
Okay, yeah, chicken rub.
with bat
uh
wings.
Batwing dinosaur discovered combines everything awesome. Totally
Yeah,
agree with that. Actually, kind of looks like a turkey more. Anyway, Chinese
yeah.
scientists have discovered a new type of dinosaur with bat-like wings. The dinosaur, originally discovered 10 years ago in the China's Hebei province, measures 63 centimeters and weighed around 230 grams. Most interestingly, though, are the dinosaur's wings, which resemble those of a bat more than those of a bird. And bird-like dinosaurs, like the Archaeopteryx, probably butchered that. They call it a failed experiment. And again, if you look at it,
It's called Yi Yiqi,
yeah.
which means strange wing in Chinese, and it was a failed experiment. Paleontologist Zhu Jing told CNN.
Um, Zhu said that it is unclear from the fossil evidence if the dinosaur flapped its wings or merely used them for gliding like a modern flying squirrel. Zhu said
Hmm.
over the last 3 decades, there were so many discoveries that demonstrate birds are really descendants of dinosaurs. Sadly, Yi whatever, was not one of them. It's an evolutionary dead end. The dinosaur lived for a brief period, roughly 160 million years during the
Yeah,
Jurassic
a brief
period.
period. But
Well, technically, yes,
yeah,
but it
but
does sound like a what? China is a hotspot for dinosaur discovery. Last week, construction workers doing routine construction work unearthed the fossilized remains of 43 dinosaur eggs in the city of Heiwan. While there is
Which
no
we
evidence,
covered last week's podcast, I believe, or was
yeah,
it the
that
week
was
before?
like
It was
story
last
of
week.
the week. It was
Yeah.
last my favorite story of the week. So cool. While there is no evidence that the bat-winged dinosaur even fought crime, there are also no reasons to believe that it didn't.
It's Bat Dino.
Yes.
uh,
Cool. Moving on to uncategorized news. So this one was really cool. I am totally like against aspartame, and Pepsi is ditching aspartame because it's not good. Well, there's still debate, I guess, if it's not good or not, but I'm pretty sure it's
and
not
yet
good.
they're saying the fact that they're doing it is a bad thing, though.
Speaking of aspartame, actually, I was at work today and this one lady who wasn't there, she had like a packet of like just aspartame sweetener, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, is this really a thing right now? Like, you just like pour aspartame into things?"
What?
That's what it said on the thing. Like, it's just called like aspartame sweetener. It was like a little packet of like artificial sweetener, and
Next
I'm
time
like,
you see her, smack her for me.
well, that's why I was like, is this really like a thing? Like, really? Like, really?
Anyway, you may not know it, but know it from certain conspiracy-minded corners of the internet or 1990s era chain mails. But aspartame is one of the most well-studied food additives ever, and yes, it is safe. Pepsi's decision to replace aspartame with another chemical sweetener may be a canny PR move, but it's really a win for widespread misinformation, and that's a bad thing.
Like, I just don't.
So here's the deal. Pepsi is swapping out aspartame for sucralose, which is better known as the stuff behind Splenda. Diet Pepsi is still going to have a second sweetener, acesulfame, potassium, or ACE K. Well, that doesn't sound suspicious at all.
Well,
Special K, anybody? um,
honestly, they're just all bad for you, but in different ways. If one thing does one thing, something
which
else is
it
going to do something
quietly
else.
slipped into sodas back in 2012. That move, the company was less eager to publicize because, it wouldn't score them good publicity points. All three artificial sweeteners have been deemed safe by the FDA and its stricter European counterparts. Of course, it is possible to cherry pick studies that say, for example, ACE-K causes chromosome abnormalities in the bone marrow of mice. But that's why scientists examine whole bodies of evidence and disregard the studies that are poorly designed, like that bone marrow one. And it's aspartame that has the greatest body of evidence supporting its safety. The FDA called aspartame one of the most thoroughly tested and studied food additives the agency has ever approved. Over 100 toxicology and clinical studies were reviewed to come to the conclusion that aspartame is safe. The European Food Safety Authority agrees.
I don't trust them.
But the aspartame causes cancer or another big scary disease trope somehow persists in our culture. There are true fear mongering sites out there operated by quacks like Joseph Mercola, and there is a very persistent hoax email from the 90s that refuses to die. But there are also otherwise reasonable Diet Coke addicts I know who casually joke about how their habit will one day kill them.
Well, it's true.
If Pepsi's announcement
Sorry.
today, an executive pretty much admitted that there was no scientific basis for the move. While decades of studies show aspartame is safe, he said, we recognize that consumer demand is evolving. There is a huge gap between perception and scientific reality when it comes to aspartame, and Pepsi's move only reinforces it. It's good business to listen to your customers, of course, but when their beliefs are fueled by scaremonger campaigns against yoga mat chemicals or aspartame, it's a loss for, well, truth.
Like, well, it just doesn't make it any better though. Like if you get rid of one thing and then you substitute it for another thing, again, it's like just because one
Yeah.
thing won't do damage to something in your body, whatever you're replacing it with
Why
is
can't we
going to
just
just be.
use sugar like we used to?
Well, there's some people, some companies and products that they do, but I mean, those are more like on the natural and they're not like, they're not Pepsi, they're not cola, they're, you know.
They have those throwback ones though, where we use real sugar though, but
I don't know, just don't drink soda, kids, you're better off.
yeah, don't drink soda, kids.
Don't do it. It's so bad for
As I
you.
hold up my bottle of Mountain Dew.
Mm, that's terrible. Just kick the habit.
All right, moving on. This portable washing machine doesn't use a drop of electricity. Instead, it uses foot power.
Yeah.
It's a pump-powered portable washing machine, which would be great for disaster relief workers, campers, and survivalists. Honestly, because clean clothes help raise morale, and morale is very important in a survival situation.
True. Very true.
And also, would also be very useful for people who live in areas where the power is intermittent, like power goes out frequently and stuff like that. You know,
Or just if you don't have power at all, like a
that's
lot of,
also true.
yeah.
There are people who have cabins out in the woods and stuff like that, so where they don't have any power hooked up and stuff. So that would also be useful for them as well.
Very awesome. Shadow Kitty was saying in the chat.
Yeah. NASA's official protocol when astronauts lose it. Hint: duct tape and sedatives.
See, this sounds alarming right off the bat, but when you think about it, what else can you do? Like, it's kind of, I feel like, the only thing to do.
I honestly think that they should add a module to the ISS where it's just a padded room where they could just go in there, yell, scream their fucking head off, and just go nuts and vent all that anger and frustration and
Just to even have alone
just
time.
whatever it is that they need to get off their chest, and just I think that would be great for their psychology.
Oh yeah, I totally agree, but as it is now, there's really nothing that you can do. I mean, I think that this is a great solution to everything, all problems, duct tape and sedatives. Just kidding, I didn't say that. Oh man.
All right. This next one is just here for the sake of being silly, but it's the Mountains of Mouthness, which is a website that when you tweet to it, these two talking mountains will read your tweets out loud.
That is like the weirdest thing.
And
Internet.
it is funny, too. Because, of course, people are tweeting expletives and, like, so and so's a dick and this and that, and it's just funny. And random, and it's internet weird, okay?
Can we like stream it? We can have our show, but like talking via mountains.
That'd be interesting. We'd get combo broken for sure, though.
That'd be really funny. But moving on, release info and announcement news. Back to Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein: The Old Blood now available for pre-order, guys.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Just like Gears of War Remaster is going to be coming to Xbox One. Though
Who's excited?
still no news on that Marcus Phoenix collection.
Yeah.
Wait, though, then again, there was. They already said they're not doing it. Though that they didn't say anything about doing a remaster. So, and honestly, I liked the first one better anyway.
Yeah. Mm.
2 added horde mode. I'd be fine with a 2 remake. Ah,
Maybe.
shit. Just remake the whole damn series. I
I
mean,
feel like it's
they're
too soon for that, though.
yeah, maybe a little bit. Actually, no. What didn't Gears of War wasn't Gears of War 3 like 3 or 4 years ago now?
No, like two, I think.
I'm gonna look that up.
Maybe even like a year and a half. I don't know. It wasn't that long ago.
It was longer than we thought. And it's September 20th,
How long?
2011. 4 years ago.
No. See, again, fucking time just goes. We're just getting old.
Alright.
Time travel. Can you imagine that?
That would be pretty cool. Where's the doctor when
That'd
you
be
need him?
scary, actually. I can see a lot of things going wrong with that.
Eh. Alright, moving on. The Mummy and Universal's monster movie mashup has been delayed. The Mummy reboot has been pushed back from June 24th, 2016 to March 24th, 2017, almost a year later. Meanwhile, the untitled monster franchise film, the mashup, has been moved back also just shy of a year from April 21st, 2017 to March 30th, 2018. And the most recent reboot was Dracula for Dracula Untold. So I'm curious, and we know that Frankenstein is in the works. This week we actually saw Daniel Radcliffe and who else was on the set of Frankenstein?
I couldn't tell you.
So that's being worked on as we speak.
Cool.
Yeah, I liked the fact that they decided to reboot the whole monster movies, all their monster movies.
Oh, yeah, I'm a big fan. That's
I'm
cool.
wondering how they're going to pull off how Creature from the Black Lagoon's going to look and stuff like that.
I have no idea, but I mean, I'm sure they'll figure something out.
That's going to be interesting to see how it looks. The next is Scarlet Witch will appear in Captain America:
Definitely.
Civil War. Civil War is starting to shape up into something really awesome. It's turning into an Avengers movie.
Yeah,
Because almost everybody's in it at this point.
they're all friends now. They gotta like show up for the party.
Well, yeah, but Civil War is when they all start fighting, though.
Yeah, the party.
No, I mean the Avengers start fighting each other.
I know.
Constantine Season 1 is now available for free online streaming.
Cool.
DC has announced that the Dark Knight Returns #3, The Master Race. Zeke Heil, Batman.
Almost an
bad joke.
inappropriate, yeah.
But but seriously, The Master Race. Couldn't they have come up with a less joke-worthy name? And again, it's being done by Frank Miller.
I mean,
Everybody loves Frank Miller. And to no surprise to anybody, Halo 5 Guardians is getting a limited edition Xbox One.
Yep,
Black Ops 3 is now available for digital pre-order.
yep.
Five Nights at Freddy's 4, the final chapter, will be coming out October 31st.
Speaking of, little shout out to AP. AP couldn't make it, but if AP gets, what is it, 500 subscribers on his
500
channel?
subs by October.
So you guys go to his YouTube and subscribe, because if you guys don't know AP, he's afraid of like everything and anything. You can't even like tell stories without him wanting to cry.
He gets very scared very easily. I'm not even
It's
sure why he agreed to this, but
because it's awesome and it's the best. Okay, so basically if he gets 500 subs, In October, he's going to do a whole month of just horror games, or we call it the month of tears.
AP's month of horror, or as we call it, AP's month of tears.
So let's make this happen because
Yeah,
it's going to be
spread it
awesome.
around. The link to his YouTube is down below in the Nerd Squad section, where that
Like,
has all
he
of our
will
YouTubes and
literally
Twitches and stuff.
cry. So
He probably might.
I think he would because he can't even handle us like saying anything remotely creepy.
Like,
Even
hey,
we were
who?
talking about like that those AI stories. He's like, I don't like it. I can't.
Like, hey, I think I saw somebody looking through your window.
Yeah, exactly. He gets creeped out so easily. He will legitimately cry.
Oh. So, and despite the fact that the movie just hit theaters today, they're already announcing that Avengers Age of Ultron is going to be getting an alternative ending and an extended cut on DVD and Blu-ray when it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray.
That
And by
doesn't really
probably
surprise
holiday season this year. Get your pre-orders in now, people.
me.
But it's in but it just hit theaters. Who cares? They like announcing shit early, apparently.
Hype. It's all about the
Yeah.
hype.
And there is a rumor going around that the new Spider-Man reboot will be called Spider-Man: The New Avenger.
The new Avenger.
And how many of you people know about Mighty Number 9 from the creator of, done by the creator of Mega Man? It was kickstarted like last year or something like that. Anyway, Mighty Number 9 has an official release date now, and it will be available September 15th in America and September 18th in Europe, and it will be available on PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, PS3, Xbox 360, PC, Mac, Linux, PS Vita, and 3DS. So, pretty much everything. It'll be
Available on
played
all
on your
platforms.
toaster.
I mean, if toasters could do that,
That would be a hell of a toaster. I want that toaster.
right? We have so much announcement news.
We usually
Holy,
do.
holy moly.
Dragon Ball Super has been announced with a July premiere date. It is the first Dragon Ball series in 18 years. Holy crap.
Oh,
That makes me feel old.
yeah, talk about feeling old.
Because
My
I
God.
watched Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT.
You're gonna have all these people, again, our age, just hooked on these like reboot cartoons.
They
Uh,
rebooted Sailor Moon. I haven't seen it.
yeah,
It's supposedly really good.
I was just talking about that. I haven't seen it either, but I loved Sailor Moon.
It's supposedly really good too. I really should watch it, but it's one of those things I kind of grew up with it. But then again, I tried watching the original again.
Hmm.
It's like, oh my
Not this,
god,
not how you remembered it.
she is so retarded in the first season. I swear.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
she
man.
is. She is the definition of a blonde. She
That makes
is.
me feel like I don't want to watch it again though either, because like I remember it being like awesome and
She
like
it gets a lot better after the first season. It gets a little better after the first season, but it really hits the ground running on the third season.
so just skip to the third season, you're saying.
Yeah, that's when there's more Sailor Scouts. There's more of the action that you're used to, and that's when it really hits its stride. But oh my god, it's like it was almost painful to watch.
Oh man.
It's like, oh my god! At least knowing that she gets at least seemingly smarter in the later seasons makes it bearable to watch. But it's like
Yeah,
it hurts my head.
that's funny.
Uh,
Anyway,
that's why I think I want to give the new series a shot that they did for
yeah,
Sailor Moon.
for sure. Gremlins reboot won't be disconnected from the original
They're
movies.
pulling a JJ.
Woo! JJ. Hashtag JJ. Hi.
just like how JJ rebooted Star Trek by introducing Spock Prime and bringing moments from the original Star Trek into his new series. They're apparently going to be doing something similar with Gremlins, though we don't know specific details just yet.
Sounds cool.
Overkill's The Walking Dead is being developed for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Lifeless Planet has gotten a release date of May 13th. Sony is developing a female-driven Jump Street film plus a Men in Black crossover. Now, I don't know how I feel about that.
What?
Yeah, just no, please.
I don't even know anymore. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, whatever you guys want to do, I guess.
If it's good, fine, maybe, but I just have a feeling no, please.
I'll have to see.
NBC will release the entire season of Aquarius online at once right after the series premieres May 28th on its network. All 13 episodes will be available for 4 weeks online. So it's basically yeah. It's Marilyn Manson, right? No, it's
For Aquarius, I really don't know.
hold on. It's Manson. I know that. Yeah, Charles Manson. David Duchovny's new series Aquarius, which follows LA police sergeant tracking budding cult leader Charles Manson, will be available on NBC.com in its 13-episode entirety on May 28th, following its network premiere that same night.
Sounds interesting.
Remake of horror classic Don't Look Now is being planned. I don't know anything about it, so.
Me neither.
Two new deals for Hulu. AMC made a deal with Hulu for the exclusive streaming rights for Fear the Walking Dead spinoff. And Hulu also snagged the rights for exclusive streaming rights for Seinfeld for almost $180 million.
Those are big ones.
Yeah, for all 180 Seinfeld episodes at almost $1 million an episode.
Yeah.
Skullgirls 2 Encore. Dead Island 2 has been delayed to 2016. Unfortunately. Just another one of those games is like, it's not ready to come out yet. Push it back. Though it hasn't been pushed back that far, I believe. I think it's only been pushed back to January.
Okay.
So it's like one of the first games that's going to be one of the first big games that's going to be coming out next year.
Watch Dogs 2 is in development.
Yeah, that was a bit of a whoopsie moment for whoever let that out of the bag.
Hacker out the bug.
Helix has been canceled by Sci-Fi. Wait, where are you at?
Helix.
Oh yeah, I passed the Watch Dogs 2 thing, didn't I?
Yeah.
Deus Ex Mankind Divided on PC will be handled by Nixxes, Nixxes. So they're like handing PC development off to that company for the game.
Mm.
Now here's something I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I kind of have faith in it because it's Ellen DeGeneres that's doing it. Ellen DeGeneres will be producing a Green Eggs and Ham series for Netflix.
I trust her. Like, I mean, She's pretty good, so I feel like she wouldn't butcher it, at least.
Yeah, and she's very. I trust her. She's a good comedian. She's a good person. She's a great actress. I have faith in her capabilities of keeping this making this a good series. Though
Hmm.
I'm curious as to how they'll be doing that, because did you know that Green Eggs and Ham actually has the least amount of words of like any Dr. Seuss book?
I didn't know that was a fact, but it does make sense.
Because most of the words in it are "I will not eat it," "Sam I am," and
Just
"Green
because you're
eggs and
eating green
ham."
eggs and ham. Yeah. So, I
I think
don't
there's
know.
only like 60 unique words or something in Green Eggs and Ham.
Oh wow, that's actually really funny. I feel like that is a Jeopardy question or something.
I gotta look this up now. Green Eggs and Ham is a 50-word book.
Oh, yeah.
So I was off by 10.
Very interesting though.
Hmm. The next one is we covered it a couple weeks ago that they're doing a Power Rangers reboot movie, but now it's been pushed from next year into 2017.
Not terrible. I'd rather people do something right than rush it.
Yeah. Ouija 2 has gotten a release date. I hear the first
I
one was
want to
pretty
see the
good.
first one now. Yeah, because I originally was like, oh, it's gonna be another one of those terrible horror films. But oh, maybe I'll give it a watch now.
But it will be Ouija 2 will be coming out October 21st of next year. And then finally, a new release date has been set for the live action Ghost in the Shell, starring Scarlett Johansson because they didn't give in to the petition to replace her as
Mm.
the lead actress. It will actually be moving up in schedule instead of being pushed back. So instead of airing and coming out March 24th of 2017, it will actually be coming out April 14th, 2017.
Okay.
And that does it for casting news. We had one death this year of a kids entertainer known as Keith Harris. He was, I believe, a puppeteer.
I honestly have no
I think
idea.
no, he was a ventriloquist.
Okay, I guess it's
Mainly on the BBC, and he had a couple shows that ran in the 80s to early 90s. Almost done. Bonus round. Nokia says it doesn't really want to make smartphones again.
Oh, Nokia.
I guess it's fine with doing what it's doing now, which is making tablets and everything else.
I mean, if that's what's better for them, then it's fine.
Hasbro and IDW are creating an all-female Transformers team.
Cool.
Kind of goes a little hand in hand with what we discussed last week about the toy company making a female-specific line of DC toys.
Yeah, very cool.
Smuggling contraband into prisons turns drones into mules. Basically, people are using drones to smuggle stuff into prison now, apparently.
It appears so. Keeping up with the tech game.
Now all we need are electromagnetic shields that disable electronics that pass through them.
In high school, I always believed that that was like a real thing. I was like, this must be a thing around our school because my cell phone does not work as soon as I can get in these gates.
And that way there'd just be a pile of drones around the perimeter of the prison.
Oh my God, and like that would be great.
New software turns nearly any touchscreen into a biometric scanner. Now, what it does is it scans the profile of and pattern of your ear to well, unlock your phone and stuff like that. And for those of you who don't know, because Ashley wasn't aware of this,
I didn't know.
your ear is actually more unique than your fingerprints, and that is very interesting. Most people are unaware of this. And when it comes to security, it goes. Your eyes are your most secure because it's 100 times more unique than your fingerprints, I believe. Then your ear is like 40 to 50 times more unique than your fingerprints, and then there's your fingerprints, which are unique as well.
That is cool because I brought up when we were talking about this the issue of security and accuracy. That's how you say
Hmm.
it. But yeah, and then I guess I was informed that they are more unique than your fingerprints even. So
Hmm.
cool. I guess it was a step in the right direction.
Self-driving taxi bots could eliminate 9 out of every 10 cars.
Cry.
And automated vehicle occupancy detection knows exactly who's in your car, most likely using retina scans. Again, it's more easily to tell apart someone by their eyes.
Hmm.
GameStop is raising money for Make-A-Wish next month with a plan of donating around $500,000 to the foundation, in addition to
Cool.
what gets donated by us as well. So now these next ones kind of fall into the category of I don't know how I feel about that, and also that's just fucked up. The
Well, the second one is fucked up, but
Yeah,
we'll get there. We'll get
the
there.
first one, I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that researchers can create scents that smell like departed loved ones.
I feel like on paper this is okay because it's like, poor grandma, she probably misses grandpa, and it's like, oh, it's like he's here and it's familiar,
It's
and
like
that's
he's been around the house and stuff like
yeah.
that.
So I
But
mean, like, if that helps her, that's cool. But then I can
coping
totally
mechanism.
see,
But
yeah.
yeah,
But
then
then again, I can see if these things are just like, available to anybody and anyone can just how somehow get them. I kind of feel like I know way too many
the
people
creepy stalker
who
type.
exactly who would have had like my scent made or something and then just been like really fucking creepy about it and I'm like, oh my God, like no, this is not okay.
Yeah.
Um, so that's what makes me kind of feel like I don't know how I feel about that because if it's unwanted and it's nothing like the person can do about it, then
Do you like need to produce a death certificate of the person that you're getting the scent made of, or
I
something?
don't know, but
That'd
then I
be.
know people who could probably like fake that too, which is really scary.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I don't know.
Now on the side of more screwed up, this dildo holds your dead lover's ashes.
Oh my God, Grandpa, no. Yeah, so I can see people being on board with this and like, okay, that's what he would have wanted or whatever.
Yeah, he wanted to be cremated, then stuffed into a dildo so I could masturbate with him.
I mean,
Yeah, that's exactly what he wanted.
there's people out there, like I can see it being a thing, whatever. But my concern, again, like I want to know, is this product being put together by the manufacturer? Like, do
And
I
is it being
send?
welded shut?
Yeah, or which I think is more likely, am I being given the product and I can put them in myself? With that being said, things come unscrewed, and now will he literally be?
Don't stop. Stop. No. No. That's just wrong. That is so very wrong.
I
There-
mean,
there- yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, is this a DIY thing, though?
it sounds kind of like it because I can't really imagine me saying, "Hey, take
Or
so
is,
and
or is this something that you get now at the funeral home?
oh, I didn't even think about that." Like right next to the flower display is like, have a dildo.
Just put it with the urns, you know? I mean, they sell little vial size urns that people wear around their necks.
I mean, I don't know.
But
Yeah,
yeah. Moving
I could.
on.
Yeah, moving on.
A smart modular roadway could ping workers when it needs to be replaced. That's cool.
That is cool.
Daredevil star Charlie Cox wants Bullseye, Elektra, and Punisher in season 2. That's also cool.
Very cool.
Though I'm not sure if Punisher's in the same area Daredevil is when it comes to. I mean, yeah, they're both Marvel. They'd both be in the same connected universe, but is Punisher in the same general area that Daredevil is, geographically speaking, I guess?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what I'm
not
trying
too
to say.
sure. Maybe if someone's more of a Marvel knowledge based or whatever, you can inform us. But yeah, we know that they obviously exist in the same universe, in the same world, but like how would they intermingle? Are they directly connected? I don't really know.
Yellowstone supervolcano is even bigger than we thought, but still nowhere near, no closer to explosion than it was before. There is a 1 in 700,000 chance that Yellowstone will erupt today. May not seem like much, but that's still a lot.
Yeah.
But the new magma caldera that they found under Yellowstone makes the supervolcano 4.4 times bigger, and the new magma chamber itself could fill the Grand Canyon 4.4 times.
That's insane.
That's a lot of lava. Well, it's magma since it's underground,
Magma.
but magma,
Magma.
liquid hot magma.
Ah.
You'll never fight the same team twice in Destiny's Trials of Osiris PvP.
I'm on board with this. This is cool, and I think other games need to take a note out of their notebook and apply it to their games because I know I get frustrated and I'm tired of going against the same people sometimes, and I think that we should just mix it up a little bit better.
Just make it so that the people that you're partied up with stay with you, but even your team gets randomized otherwise.
Yeah. Because I mean, honestly, like I feel like that is the most fair way to go about it, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So why not?
Explore the world from your couch with this movement matching robot. This is pretty cool. It basically uses the Oculus to match your movements and everything like that, and it works pretty well, judging by what we see there. About the guy
Cool.
bobbing and like this, and the robot's doing the same thing, and it makes me think this is a prototype of Wally.
Oh,
Just seeing the guy like, and the robot doing the same thing right next to him. It's pretty cool though.
very cool.
Morphing wings will turn planes into fuel-saving shapeshifters. Now, this isn't a new concept, but the fact that they're actually able to do it now is really cool.
Hmm.
I've seen concepts of stuff like this years ago, but we didn't have the technology to do something like this before now.
Hmm. Cool.
And as it turns out, Starbucks has a horrible sense of irony as they're selling California's scarce water to help people without water.
I've never thought about this, but you were very terribly ironic, Starbucks. Sorry, not sorry.
So, and last week we covered Telltale is signed a deal with Marvel to do a Telltale styled game for a Marvel character. And IGN suggests that they should do Marvel's Moon Knight, who is a more morally ambiguous character, which would suit Telltale's storytelling system better than most heroes might. For anyone who's played a Telltale game, there can be some rather sticky situations that you find yourself in,
Mm-hmm.
and certain options might not seem so good guy-ish.
Yeah.
And finally, a modular phone case that adds every accessory you never knew you needed.
Tell me more.
And for just $19.99, you can... No.
We are not sponsored.
But basically, it adds cameras and buttons and other such things to your phone.
Cameras, buttons, phone stuff.
Cameras, buttons, switches. Yeah. Pretty much what you'd expect to have on a phone.
Speaking of stuff on our phone, I'm so excited. I just got an Olo clip, which if you guys don't know, it's like a little thing that goes on your phone. It clips on and it's got a lens for the front and the back of your camera. And I'm so excited to
So it
use
gives you like a
and
little
play
bit
with
extra
it.
zoom then, right?
Yeah, the one that I got has 20 times additional zoom.
I think it was last week or the week before, but there was this picture of someone zooming of a camera that had 340 times zoom. It was zooming in over 3 miles.
Oh shit.
That was insane. That was really cool.
That's kind of scary.
The ultimate tool for the private eye,
Oh man.
or for the stalker du jour.
So I don't have any windows in my room. Just gotta be safe.
But yeah, imagine being able to zoom in from over 3 miles away.
Yeah.
Imagine taking a nature hike in the mountains with something like that.
That would be really cool though, actually.
All right. That's our show, everybody.
Yay!
Thanks for watching this week's Nerd Nation, your source for all the news you need to know. Remember, we go live every Friday night on Twitch at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and if you miss an episode, you can always catch up on past episodes on the Nerd Nation YouTube channel. So until next time, have a good one, stay nerdy. Ashley, do your outro.
So thanks for tuning in, guys. We really appreciate you guys watching and supporting us, even though you just got Hanyu and I this week again. But we're kind of what matters. We're like,
We're
just
the
on
ones
the
who
low
show up most, so.
on the DL. But anyway,
Actually, I
I'm
think you have a
Ashley
perfect track
Archaic.
record.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, my first show though that I'm gonna miss is May 15th. That's my birthday, but I'm going to hang out with people in Hollywood and
Very cool.
so I'm excited about that. But I will miss you guys, and I'll maybe shoot you guys Snapchat or something. But anyway, I'm Ashley Archaic. Again, I have a gaming channel, youtube.com/Ashley Archaic. Lots of Let's Plays. I guess walkthroughs, but it's cool. It's a fun time, and I like to hang out with you guys. So go check it out. Subscribe, follow on Twitter, twitter.com/Ashley_Archaic. Also our Twitter, Nerd Nation, twitter.com/ what is it, Nerd Nation N2.
Yeah.
So go
At Nerd Nation N2 also.
at Nerd Nation N2. So go follow, go subscribe. Also a shout out to AP who's not here. Again, he's doing if you reach 500 subscribers on his YouTube, his link is up there somewhere. He will do the month of tears. which I really want to happen. So
That's gonna be
go
interesting. Yeah.
subscribe. Um, yeah, and he does a lot of Minecraft builds and stuff like that, and his stuff's really cool too. So go check it out. And what about you, Hanya?
I've been doing mostly Nerd Nation stuff.
He
That
doesn't do anything ever except boss us around. Just kidding.
But I did just put together a forum for Nerd Nation, which will be going live. Look for the link sometime tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah, we'll throw that up Twitter, Facebook, different social
Which, by
media
the way,
platforms.
the link to the Facebook page is down below. Nerd Nation off the record. That's where we put a whole bunch of nonsense, basically. Stories, pictures, videos, cool stuff, interesting stuff, crazy
Just stuff
stuff.
that we like.
Yeah. So, aside from that, I do have a gaming channel. That I really need to put some content on. It's
It's
been
there.
it's been 3 weeks now, but yes, it's there,
It
and
exists.
it exists. It's a thing. Um, but aside from that, hey, you know what? Everything's going well. Nerd Nation's going really well. We have links down below. Check out my Twitch, my YouTube. Check out Ashley's Twitch, her YouTube. Check out AP's Twitch and his YouTube, and check out Beardy's Twitter.
Which is never on.
Sometimes. Um, aside from that, uh, again, the Nerd Nation YouTube and Twitter, and okay, that's pretty much it. I think we pretty much covered everything.
I say so.
All
So
right.
yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.